let's go. True or false? In the 1988-89 season, Yorkshire beat Lancashire in the War of the Roses. At the end of the game, as it was back then in the day, all the fans ran onto the pitch. I ran straight up to the standoff and captain of the day, which was the Pearl himself, Ellery Hanley, and said, "Can I have your shirt?" He looked at me, started laughing, and whipped it off. It still takes pride of place next to my Danny Mags merchandise, and it's sat on my clothes rack upstairs. Is that true or false?
I have a feeling that Ellery Hanley wouldn't be that gracious to a child, so I'd say false.
Mark, very good. It's false. So the true anecdote, okay, is that I ran up to Ellery Hanley and was just about to go, "Ellery, can you sign me shirt or my autograph or whatever?" And two lads who, I was probably about 10 or 11, I was 11 at the time, two lads ran up to him and were like, Ellery, can we have your shirt? And he was like, yeah, whipped it off and just gave it to him straight away. And I was like, fuck, is that a thing? So this is where we get to the next part of the question. Later that season, Great Britain played a rest of the world side, and I approached the captain of the rest of the world side at the end of the game, who, memory serves me right, was Hugh McGann, who was a New Zealand loose forward. And I've checked back into the history books, and none of what I can see from the programmes have got him down as playing, but I know there was a couple of dropouts, and one of the dropouts was Mark Graham, who was also a New Zealand captain. I think Hugh McGann took his place in the side. So Hugh McGann's giving a TV interview at the end, pitch side at Headingley. I run up to him, and there's all reporters stood around and go, "You, can I have your shirt?" And he just looked at me and went, "No," and walked off like that. So the next part is, Mark, who am I? On that day for Great Britain, there were 4 Wigan players. They played in positions 6, 7, 12 and 13. Do you want to have a stab straight off who the 6, 7, 12 and 13 were for Great Britain that day? I think the 6 or 7 and 13...
Gregory.
Absolutely, and do you know what? They really didn't play together that much as an half-back partnership. And Edwards was always injured.
Yeah, certainly rep games they barely played.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and big finals really as well. But yeah, and I'd go with Hanley and Clark as the other two.
You went Clark at 12. Okay, so it wasn't. So we'll move into some. You got the first 3 right. We'll go into a little bit of a clue. So. Let me just bring up what I had on this person, if you bear with me a second. So, he started out his career at St Helens. He moved to Wigan, and he played prop and second row before moving to Auckland Warriors. Does that help you at all?
It does. Is it Andy Platt?
It's Andy Platt, yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Okay, so this is where we get even deeper into my self-indulgence. Good stuff. So,
how long have we got left of this?
Last one. This is the last one. So, true or false? I, Richard Wilkinson, age 11, in a discussion with the Leeds Rhinos coaching staff prior to the 1988-89 trophy winning season, where Leeds RL were crowned the true champions against perennial all-time chokers Castleford, I told the Leeds coaching staff which overseas players to sign, and we signed all 3. True or false?
I think you wouldn't tell me this story if it wasn't true.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. So the real anecdote is that I was on a rugby camp at Headingley, and Mal Reilly, and it was Alan Agar, Richard Agar's dad, was the Leeds assistant coach, and we were just bantering with them as you do as young kids, and people were saying we should sign like Alan Langer and stuff like that, and I piped up as I do me, going, "No, that's all rubbish, that is. You want to sign X, Y and Z?" And they just looked at me, they looked at each other, and just kind of walked off, and I didn't think any more about it, and we just signed all three. So they were like, who's he been fucking talking to, this kid? So this is about Leeds greats. So
and quickly Daryl Powell got told he couldn't work for your dad's firm anymore.
No, Daryl Powell left to play for Balmain. My dad didn't sign him. Yeah, Daryl Powell. Daryl worked a summer job. My dad gave him a summer job, and he basically had to quit halfway through because he went to play for Balmain Tigers. He was like 17, 18 at the time. That's where he cut his teeth in the NRL. Yeah. So these are about three of the greatest overseas signings Leeds ever signed. Two of them definitely, one of them probably not so much. But we'll see how your NRL knowledge is of players from back in the day.
So how much I know Leeds players who are Australian who came over before when I was about 4, before I had any interest in rugby league.
That's right.
Okay.
But they're also some of the greatest.
I've done well so far, so it's okay. I can cope with a loss of these three.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, definitely.
Is one of them Cliff Lyons?
No comment. So, who am I? Okay. I played for Leeds in 2 stints between 1986 and 89. I played all my club rugby in Oz as a centre, where I was a one-club man. However, I played full-back in my first stint for Leeds, where I gained my legendary out-of-this-world nickname, which stuck with me my whole career. I played on the wing in my second stint for Leeds, which is where I played for New Zealand and Australia. And there is a little clue in there.
It's not a clue that's sitting. The only thing I can think of is, well, now I'm struggling. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So I'm probably more famous for catching fish these days, and considering which club I played for, that is rather ironic.
Is this the same guy still?
Totally, yeah.
I haven't got a clue.
So should we just go to his out of this world nickname?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so yeah, my third one, he's Cronulla's number 1 son.
Right, okay. I'd maybe guess Cronulla, but I don't know enough about their history to say.
Okay. So out of this world nickname, it was E.T. Andrew Ettinghausen.
Okay, I've heard of him.
Does that mean anything to you? Oh, you've heard of him?
I've heard of him. I know who he is, but no, I would never have got that in a million years.
Okay, fair dues. He's a good player.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he was. Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing stuff. In my time of supporting rugby league, I've seen stuff where clips of him or playing for Australia or whatever. Yeah, but
that's it.
Yeah,
good stuff. So let me just have a quick look
where
we're at.
I only played for Leeds, so I never thought of him as a centre either.
He played all his career at centre for Cronulla Sharks. Yeah, he played in the 3 jersey. Yeah. So look, we'll get through these quick because you're obviously going to struggle. So I was an old school prop forward in the truest sense. I played, I played for Canberra before joining Leeds and then moved to the Broncos. I'm regarded as a Queensland legend and played for Australia. Though my rep career was short, I hold the record. I was the first Australian forward to score tries in all 3 Test series, again in the Ashes against Great Britain. And I was the 1988 Dally M Front Row of the Year. And I'll give you another clue. I was the original Slamming Sam. These are really cruel because you were like 4 years old, right?
Well, and also he didn't play for Wigan. So if they didn't
That's
play
right,
for Wigan,
yes, of course.
Then I'm going to struggle with that era. I've got no idea.
They were superstars at the time. It was a guy called Sam Bacco.
Do you know, I've never even heard of him.
Have you not? It was an absolute origin. These are the players. Okay, and the last one, I played for Leeds in 2 stints as a standoff and won the man of the match against Castleford in the Yorkshire Cup final. I played most of my career at 5'8" for my beloved Manly from the 86 to 99 season. I'm a Clive Churchill list, and I'm a 2-time Dally M winner, an Origin star and Aussie Test player, and I'm Rich Wilkinson's favourite player of all time.
Cliff Lyons.
It is indeed.
I would have got that just from standoff at Leeds and Manly because I actually had heard of him and was aware of his career.
Nice and good stuff. I know that was incredibly cruel, but it was just for me to talk about my favourite players of all time.
That's so not a problem. Well, we now move on to
on Cliffy. Yeah.
We now move on to another section where you can talk about your favourite things, because it's the SLP recommends. Now, I was at a wedding on Saturday, and they had a band play that was just something that I've never seen before. And basically, it was a three-piece band. There was a man with an acoustic guitar, pretty standard. There was a bloke with a violin, and there was a bloke with a set of what are the big bongos called? So they're not bongos, congos. Is that it? Them.
Yeah,
a set of them. So basically, this was the band, and they played all sorts of songs, sort of rock songs, pop songs. They did A Little Respect. They did some Queen songs. They did some modern. Did Umbrella by Rihanna.
Yep.
But it was absolutely awesome. They were incredible. They're called Flip. Now I don't know if they have any videos on YouTube or anything like that, because I couldn't find anything just quickly before I did this. But if you live in the northwest of England and you need a band for a wedding or anything like that, I would strongly recommend Flip the band. FLIP. Because they were absolutely entertaining. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Now you can take the floor with yours, Rich.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wilco time.
This is it. Mine are a little bit slightly out of left field in the terms of there's been a lot of news and a lot of noise coming out of the York City Knights recently, and I just like to kind of recommend, as a community, as a sport, we get behind York and what they're trying to do there. And, if your team's playing them or you get an opportunity to go along to a game, I'd say get yourself down. And I'm a true believer that, everyone goes on about going away to Catalan and what a great experience is. But, York is by far one of the greatest cities to go out through the day, to go out on a night, to take your family, to go with your mates. And I think there's something really special about what they could do there if they get an opportunity to really grow the sport in that area. But, as a spectacle, York could almost be something that could... I know it can't rival the Magic Weekend because it doesn't have the stadium. But, in terms of away fans going and, people... it being a thorough day out or a weekend, I think there's loads of potential in York, and I've always been a big fan of the area. So I'd like to say, as a community, let's get behind the York City Knights.
Yeah, I think for them as a club where they've come from, basically a couple of years ago, they were going to go out of existence.
Almost
they had nowhere to play. All of that to now thriving, getting regular four-figure crowds. Having a huge press coverage because of the great things that they've been able to do in some of the big games. Big games that they lost. I mean, they won the Toronto one last year, but they lost to Bradford. They lost to Catalan. But still, spirited, they're playing the game in the right way, and they're a club with a vision. And I think I'm sure you'll agree. I know you're into that kind of stuff, but there's not many better cities than York. just to go and hang out in and to walk round and to have some drinks and a feed. And I think it's
that
a really
can be
nice
really
place.
It is. It's a brilliant place to go for a day or a weekend. And if we could tack that onto some rugby league, it seems like the perfect recipe for me to be able to generate something there. So
they don't have
definitely
a football league club. So that's a positive.
Yeah.
So York can make a jump up on their football side.
And there's lots of little small towns that kind of really are into what they're doing, like Selby and places like that. Selby tends to be cut between Cass, Leeds and Hull. So there's markets they can tap into where small sort of market towns around that area can really make them their own. So the next thing was, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I'd like to recommend that some more of our tight-knit community, if invited, having a go at hosting the Super League pod. It'd be good to wear maybe a Bob Phillips or, that slack-jawed yokel fat boy Rob might want to, I don't think Rob's been on yet, has he?
Rob hasn't done co-hosting duties. He has been on Wigan Fan TV, which
that's right. I did see that.
I occasionally get involved in.
And I said that I was shocked because he had all his own teeth, I was expecting to see something different, But there you go. So good on you, Rob.
And Rob needs to be on good behaviour at the moment as well, because he's thrown in a few too many mum jokes on the Instagram feed.
Yeah, absolutely. And last but not least, my recommendation is more close to home from what was traditional from you and old dad. Is basically I've binged watched this weekend. Karate Kid Cobra Kai, which if you enjoyed Karate Kid as a kid, who probably, I'm somebody in my 40s, it's a proper true, they've done it on a low budget, but it's a proper true homage to the original movie, and they've obviously realised, the 80s sort of cheesiness is something they can play on in terms of gags, and, the un-PC nature of the 80s, and how you can drag that forward into a modern day world. But yeah, I binge watched Karate Kid Cobra Kai, which is essentially a 10-part episode version of Karate Kid with some